Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video, and I tell you what, the summer window has definitely opened and Newcastle are not messing around this time, as it's reported last night by The Athletic, by Sky Sports, that Newcastle have placed a €50 million bid for the Italian midfielder Sandro Tonali. Wow, €50 million coming out. It's actually reported today that Newcastle representatives are in London meeting with Tonali's representatives to discuss contracts. So could this one well be underway right now as we speak? Dan Ashworth potentially, as reported, down there discussing contracts right now. Some big news coming out, and this all comes off the back of news literally this week that Newcastle don't want to wait around. They want to get deals done as quickly as possible, talking about the fact that they don't have the patience to wait around for Leicester to decide, do they want to keep Maddison, do they want to sell Maddison to us, do they want to sell it to Spurs, how much is he going to be? Newcastle aren't playing. Newcastle are going out there and trying to make deals happen as quickly as possible so we can get them in for pre-season training. I want to come back to that a little bit later on in the video about Newcastle are playing it clever. You know, we are spreading the market. We are going in for different, but we're putting a bit of pressure on other players as well. You know what, Leicester? If you're not going to play ball and give us Maddison when we want him, fine. We're going to go look at Szoboszlai. We're going to go look at Barella. We're going to place a £50 million bid for Tonali to try and A, bring a player in, but B, put a bit of pressure on some of these other clubs as well. You know what it is? We aren't going to play by your terms. If you aren't going to let us have the player when we want him, we're going to look elsewhere, which is exactly what you should be doing. And I'm really pleased that Newcastle are sounding so active so early on this transfer window. And look, it hasn't happened yet. And look, it could be another name that we don't hear from again. But as reported, the bid is in. It's actually reported that AC Milan approached Newcastle. AC Milan are having some financial struggles right now and are rumoured to have offered him as an option to try and get some money in for themselves, which kind of does all line up as to why it's all happened so quickly and why the bid has been placed so quickly as well. So we'll wait to hear a little bit more on that one. I mean, Tonali in a player, he would be what we need. Just 23 years old, has got 70 appearances for AC Milan, scored 7 goals. He has played for the Italy international team, 14 caps for them, but is in fact set to start in their under-21s, the Euros under-21s for Italy this summer. He's a defensive midfielder. He is a great passer of the ball. I think he probably has the same range of passing as Bruno, but plays the role slightly different to what Bruno does. I think Tonali is more of a defensive midfielder who will sit back and dictate the play in front of him. He's compared to Pirlo. I mean, he's Italian and they've got similar haircuts, you know, and both very, very talented players that you could possibly compare him to, like the Biscuits, you know, someone who really is more defensively minded, will have a great range of pass, but will dictate the play in front of him. And that's the thing with Newcastle. I think it's clear to say we're looking to bring a midfielder in this window. I know we've discussed it heavily on the channel, and Newcastle fans have, going into this window as a midfielder is what we wanted. I've just listed a whole bunch of names there. Maddison, Szoboszlai, it's all players who want all the same player, don't all play the exact same roles, but it's a position we're looking to fill. And if you could bring in a Tonali, what that would do is allow the likes of Bruno to be able to play more further forward. Now, it's not just Eddie Howe who wants to really get the best out of Bruno this season, get him in more attacking positions. Bruno himself has actually come out and said that he would prefer to play in a more attacking role, but that he will do whatever it takes for the benefit of the team. And as I've said, I would love to see just one of these deals go through as quickly as possible, because it means that the sooner they're in pre-season, they could have the debut, as I've mentioned, up against Rangers or over the river against Gateshead, and you know, just a few weeks time. Pre-season starts up in I believe 2 weeks-ish time. So it hasn't been much of a summer break, has it? I mean, Grealish was joking on after the England game that he's literally just won the treble. He's had a game for England instead of a week's holiday, and then he's back in pre-season again. And it's similar for the Newcastle players as well. There hasn't been a long break, which is really cutting down on the time we actually have this summer window. Obviously, once Eddie Howe gets into training and he's with the players and he's working day in, day out, Dan Ashworth will take over. And then, I mean, that's the good thing, isn't it? Is that because we are bringing in people behind the scenes as well, we're not relying on Eddie Howe to, write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. He is able to concentrate on what he does best, which is work with the players, improve the players, and get them ready for the season. Dan Ashworth can do what he's best at and try and bring some of these players in through the door. So the Tonali one is progressing. I think it's The Athletic is a very good source. Actually, Pete Graves, who actually posted, local lad who's on Sky Sports, Toon fan, he's actually reported to say that there is talks ongoing with Tonali, and we will have to just wait and hear what happens next on that one. But I am very pleased, as I mentioned earlier on in the video and wanted to come back to, about the fact that we had it with Maddison, we had it with Gordon. I think Gordon's a good example of what happened in the January window, where we went in early and Everton went, we want 50 million. And Newcastle went, well, we'll give you 40. 1st of January, 2nd of January, 3rd of January, 30th of January. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just give you what you wanted anyway. We'll just give you the 45. We'll just give you the 50 million, because it just dragged on for so long. And I think that's one big thing that Newcastle have said this week, reported yesterday by Fabrizio Romano. Newcastle aren't going to be patient with these teams. We're going to be impatient. We're going to be angry. We're going to be in there. We're going to try and make the deals happen that work for us, not sit around and wait for stuff to happen. I think one of the ones with Szoboszlai coming out earlier this week, that it's understood that his release clause actually ends at the end of June. And that's the thing. If we want to act on that and get it done fast, we'll get him in. If we want to maybe not trigger the release clause and then take it on into next month, and they want 60 but we want to pay 50, at what point do you go, okay, here's 55, you know what, Leicester want 50 for Maddison, we want to pay 40, look, let's just do 45 or 47. And I don't want us to overpay and spend more than we want to, and it's all FFP and where can the money go. But there's also something to be said for, is 5 million worth having someone who's in with us from day one, has done a full two-month pre-season, ready for the start of the actual season? Because I think I'm not the man with the money book. I'm the Newcastle fan who wants to see deals done fast and players ready for the season. The alternative is, if we aren't going to just go and do that, what we will do instead is look at our options. Where else can we go? By the way, Tonali, it's on the table. If you want to come in, it's ours. Leicester are going, hang on. If we actually do hold off, Newcastle could well go somewhere else, and maybe we'll get nothing at all. It's a bit different with Maddison because there's links to Spurs. There's actually being said at the minute that he would prefer a move to London, which I have no idea why, because it's expensive and busy. Why not come and live out in Newcastle, where you've got the beach and the countryside within a 10-minute drive of either side of you, and a St James's Park with fans who love you and Champions League football? Because Spurs haven't got that at the moment either, have they? But yeah, the big one is Tonali. Let me know your thoughts on that one down below. Let me know your thoughts on the comparison between him and how he would fit into the squad, alongside some of the other players we're being linked with right now. Is this Newcastle's big move to get him in, or is this Newcastle's going, by the way, guys, you're not the only targets. If you don't play ball, we will move elsewhere as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts on Tonali down in the comments below. This is not the end of the summer window. It's only the beginning, and I cannot wait to see a few names come in through the door. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.